What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we got some 2K21 gameplay news that we've been waiting for. A lot of things to talk about, which we're going to dive into in just a second. But if you're new to the channel, however, and you want to be up to date on all of your 2K21 news or your Madden news if you're a Madden fan as well, make sure to subscribe, hit the bell icon so that you never miss any of these uploads when they go live. Over the next few weeks, there's going to be a ton of 2K and Madden stuff dropping as the games are getting close to release, so you don't want to miss any of those videos. Now, for 2K21, there's a lot of things that people have wanted changed from the past games. So we're going to see what they're working with here. And an interesting thing they started off with here is it says that we've always prided ourselves as being the most authentic basketball simulation on the market, and that will never change. But one of the challenges that we face is striking the right balance between simulating real life and making a game that's fun and enjoyable for a wide range of fans. That's where the debate on skill gap versus accessibility comes into play. The target we shoot for is to create a game that's easy to pick up and play for new users while also providing enough of a skill gap for veteran users to really showcase their talent. So to sum it up, I don't really have any fancy back-of-the-box marketing name for the work that went into gameplay balance and funifying the on-court experience, but I'm pretty sure that longtime fans of 2K basketball will notice the improvements and appreciate what the team was able to accomplish. So that's an interesting way to start it off, because that's kind of the struggle with every sports game. It's, you know, the balance of making it fun and easy for anybody to pick up and kind of get the hang of, but also making it realistic and having a skill gap. We've seen pretty much almost every game as of late struggle with this. So depending on what type of fan of the game you are, you're either going to like to hear that or you're not going to like it. I know personally I've heard a lot of 2K fans say not necessarily that the skill gap needed to be lessened, but that the on-court fun just wasn't the same as the past games. It was kind of not fast enough. It wasn't exciting enough. I think what most people want is a true skill gap, but to be able to still pull off some crazy things on court and make it feel like a video game. So again, depending on the type of gamer you are, you're either going to like that approach or not like it. So here is the first change coming to the Pro Stick, which has been a staple of 2K basketball for years now and has gone largely unchanged. For 2K21, they said, "We saw this as a big opportunity to freshen up the game on the offensive end. In past games, you could hold the Pro Stick in any direction to take a jump shot. That was limiting us from utilizing the right stick as a fully featured dribble stick. So this year, we're making a pretty significant change to how the Pro Stick works. You can hold the right stick down for a jump shot. You can hold the right stick left or right to escape dribble moves. You could hold the right stick up to do signature size ups. You could tap the right stick to do quick one-on-one dribble moves, and you can tap the right stick with sprint held for quick momentum dribble moves. With this change, we've been able to greatly expand the dribble move arsenal and give you access to more moves and a more intuitive control scheme. After a game or two, it will feel like second nature and will have you breaking ankles in no time. Along with the remap, the moves themselves have been overhauled to be much more responsive and chainable. Street moves have been moved to the tap of the left trigger as well, so you won't be firing them off by accident when you're breaking down defenders in the park. And for the NBA size-ups, we've added several new signatures like Harden's around the leg dribble, a new version of Kobe's dance, and Durant's signature hezzy cross. Another NBA legend, Nate Robinson, came in for motion capture this year and gave us some really unique moves that I'll leave for you to find as well. So this is a big complaint I've heard for a while, that the dribbling, they kind of dialed it back a little bit. I mean, dribbling can get pretty out of hand in 2K, especially in the park, you know, when you level your guy up, but they kind of dialed it back from how it used to be, and people were saying they wanted the dribble moves to be more responsive, a little bit quicker, and to be able to chain more moves together. So it looks like they listened to that feedback, but again, depending on the type of player you are, you're either going to like that or you're going to hate it. If you're a park player, you'll probably like it. If you're more of a sim-style franchise mode, or you want to play online head-to-head and try to play it realistically, you might not like that change too much, but that is the change coming to the Pro Stick. Now let's talk about shooting. Dribble moves weren't the only thing that benefited from the Pro Stick upgrade. Jump shooting and finishing at the rim were points of emphasis as well. We really wanted to make scoring the basketball a skill both from the perimeter and at the rim, so we brainstormed and prototyped a number of various shooting mechanics for this year's games. We settled on what was an idea conceptually similar to something we tried in 2K17, shot stick aiming. Aiming didn't really work that well with 2K17 because it was a bit buried, didn't have much skill built into it, and didn't give the user any feedback. We took those learnings and used them to create a better solution this time around. For 2K21, when you shoot with the Pro Stick, the shot meter changes from a timing bar to a targeting system. So instead of trying to stop the shot meter when you reach a perfect release window, you adjust the Pro Stick in real time to hit the ideal center aim point. The target window resizes dynamically based on players' ability, shooting range, and how well the shot is contested, and can also shift to the left or right based on the shot's degree of difficulty. If you miss the target too far left or right, your shot will miss in that direction. As I mentioned above with the new slider sets, even the slightest degree might be the difference between a make and an air ball in Hall of Fame, while it's a quite bit more forgiving on the easier difficulties. You also won't be penalized for using the entire shooting motion to find the sweet spot. In other words, you don't have to time your release when you're shooting with the Pro Stick, but if you want to take it to the next level and you know your release, you can lock in your timing and aim by either centering the Pro Stick or tapping one of the triggers when you reach the apex of the shot. So we all saw the new meter. A lot of people said they didn't like it. A lot of people said they didn't care because they don't use the meter anyway. So as you can see, it's kind of like a little bit of a range where you hit, whereas before you just tried to time the shot when the bar filled up. Now you're gonna have a range, like a window that you want to get the meter in, and depending on, you know, if you're a three-point shooter and you're like Curry, you're probably gonna have a much wider range to get that bar in, whereas if you're someone that can't shoot a three that well, like maybe like a Rondo, your bar is going to be a lot smaller, or your range is going to be smaller. Same thing if you're like Anthony Davis under the rim, your range, your window is going to probably be really wide, right? But if you're a guy that doesn't finish as well at the rim, your window is probably going to be a little bit smaller. It says here the aiming concept also applies to finishing layups, replicating the idea of having good touch around the rim. As you're driving, you can still hit the Pro Stick in any direction to start a layup, but this year, you'll want to quickly swing the stick to move the aiming tick to the center of the target. Aiming layups well can help overcome shot contests and help you finish through contact. Personally, it has been hard for me to go back to the shot button after getting used to the Pro Stick shooting, and because shooting with the stick offers a bit more complexity than just holding and releasing a button, it also carries a greater risk reward. If you can master shooting with the Pro Stick, you have a higher ceiling for getting greens and making tough shots, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be the shot method of choice for many competitive 2K players. But since I know some will ask, yes, there's an option to disable the shot aiming if you really want to go back to last year's control. So, again, new shot meter, and it's also for the Pro Stick, it's going to work for layups, which this I think could be a good change, because a lot of you try to do the button, shooting layup under the rim, and a lot of times you get weird animations that you're not looking for with the Pro Stick. It sounds like you're going to have a little bit more freedom to do the type of layup you want and get the desired animation you want. But if you don't like this, you can go back to the old shooting system, which seems like it'll be less rewarding if you can master this one. The old shot meter will be less rewarding, but if you want to try this system, it'll be more rewarding if you can perfect it. Now let's talk about motion styles. It says last year we introduced signature dribble styles, which gave Magic Johnson his unique upcourt waddle, Steve Nash his finger licks, and much more. The upgrade has now made its way into the defensive end for signature defensive motion styles. Here's a list of players that you can model your player's movement after: Russell Westbrook, Giannis, LeBron, Kawhi Leonard, Pat Beverly, Andre Iguodala, and Draymond Green. So they've added more signature styles of some of the best defenders in the league. Badges have changed as well. It seems like everybody was a big fan of how we redesigned the badge system last year with the ability to swap badges in and out as you upgrade. That's returning for 2K21. Throughout the life of 2K20, we collected telemetry data that gave us a detailed breakdown of what badges people were equipping for certain build types and which ones weren't being used as much. This was very useful in helping us redesign and tune the badges for 2K21. I think you'll find that more badges will have merit and fight for a spot on your badge loadout, giving you more effective tools to take over games. And here's some good news that I know the community will appreciate. We removed quick draw and put release speed back into the jump shot creator. So this is pretty big. Number one, they're right. With badges, at least how they were last year, there were certain badges that you just never even wanted to think about using. They just weren't that good. And there was just those select few that were just far above the rest. And those are the ones everybody wanted to equip. So now it sounds like they tried to tune it, and they're going to give more badges more merit, is what they said, and kind of make the decision maybe a little tougher of what you want to equip. We'll see how that plays out, because developers always say things like that, and they don't always wind up being the case. But the really interesting thing here is they removed quick draw, which was a necessary badge last year. It was probably the most necessary badge in the game, because without it, your shot release would be super slow. You needed quick draw to have a good shot release. Now they've removed that badge, and they've put release speed back into the jump shot creator, which is what everybody wanted. So that I definitely think is a good change. So that's all of the 2K gameplay stuff. Let me know what you think below. Are you excited about any of this? Do you not like some of this stuff? Do you wish there were more changes? And what are you hoping for on next gen? Let me know below, and as always, I will see you guys next time.